Welcome to another Sorare video. It's going to be a bit of a weird one because I didn't upload a video last week because basically nothing really happened during the international break. All-Star, we had a decent week overall. I completely forgot to check in Buemo. I can't believe he didn't play against Australia. We had a decent score over this side apart from Matty Cash. Very similar with the 27th to the 31st, but horrendous scores. I completely forgot to change teams and everything else. It was just I just got very lazy with it just because there wasn't much going on and it was just All-Star. 31st and the 3rd, very similar. International break, nothing really happened. Got a very good score here, but it is what it is. Going into the last week, had an absolute stinker with picking captains this week across the board. 300 essence only. And one of them we got 197 points, which is probably one of my lowest I've ever received where all 5 players played. Moving on to Spain, we then had a pretty solid left side. I think if I had captained Sorare, it would have been different with the points because that got 79. But if we had captained Sorare, it probably would have maybe bumped us up to 360. But as well as that, I expected Villarreal to beat Girona today. I think it was today that game. It was today that I'm recording, yeah. And I thought Laporte and Athletic Club would actually do better. And you can see me expecting Sevilla to have a decent game, and it was an absolute awful game. I will say that Oviedo I've gone against quite often the last month or two because they just don't score goals. They've suddenly had a really good resurgence and score quite a few goals. Looking in the Bundesliga, again, as I said, we've captained the wrong person. Orban was there, but every other person in that squad did better. We were just nowhere near. We both had 2 awful teams. This was the first week with the MLS where I had 4 new keepers with Berkey, Pantomis, Poulskamp and Ferre. Overall, getting 2 red cards for Colorado did not help my case. It kind of messed up the tactics and everything else, and it was just a bit of a mess. Navarro and Paxton Aronson had solid games. Yappy was the surprise exclusion. Everybody expected him to play, and you can see I expected that because I put him in for 2 teams, my 2 strongest ones. And yeah, it just wasn't to be. We were nowhere near the 340 target for any of these. All within, 217 to 290, basically. It just wasn't great. Kojima didn't play either. Noah Cobb came on, had a decent game, but yellow card. Again, captaining the wrong person. Here. It just is what it is. Zach Steffen was having an insane game until the error that led to the goal, basically. He got 11 points. That would have helped a lot, but not enough. I think if I'd captained Paxton Aronson, it still wouldn't have made much difference. Because he got 33 points extra. He would have probably been at 100 and something. We still wouldn't have been close. Jackson Travis red card kind of threw us. And especially with Yappy not starting. It is what it is. You can't do much about it. I could have put Rosenberry. But not the best overall. We had a solid one here. And again, captaining the wrong people. I don't think anybody really expected a 3-0 Lille win against Lens. It just wasn't to be. When we go on to set. So far, we've got a good collection. It's nowhere near as good as I had the winter set. And I just don't know if this is going to be as easy to collect, the generic cards. Renato Vega. Another complete... I went for Villarreal here and it just hasn't gone well. And Pau Navarro has already screwed me over with an own goal. So already we're kind of looking a bit weak for this. So... we'll see how this goes. I've got the Champions League set up for the next 2 days. I can't change any of the players in there. And as well as the Europa League here. I've had an absolute stinker. I got 2,000 here and I've not been able to hit 320. It's not even a hard one, but I think it's because of the international break. I just didn't have enough good cards. Because when we look at the Stellar Knights, I don't have many of these ones. And even if I do, none of these are that good. The only one I'd say is decent is probably Moreno for Levante. And maybe Joe Rodon. But that depends who they play. With the... whatever... I don't even know what these are called, to be honest with you. With these, it's not horrendous. Guardiola is just, I think he's injured. Mila, pretty good. Doku, not bad. Vogo, not bad. Raul Jimenez, like, there aren't awful ones. Sales is a pretty good one to have. But that's a 50-50 whether he plays or not in goal. That's the problem. But, like, a lot of these you're seeing are, like, Calafiori is a good one, but, like, Lato, like, he never plays. Hasn't played well. Like, a lot of them either don't play or haven't played well at all. And that's part of the issue that I'm finding with this. It is, like, I got some duplicates, I think. I've got 3 Chris Richards, 2 Tyreek Mitchells. I've got players that I think will actually do okay. I mean, I don't know why I have him, but Sotelo I can get rid of. Nico Gonzalez, just like, a lot of these are just not great. And that's part of the issue, is a lot of these are just very bland, not great cards overall. I mean, that'll help me get rid of a few. I'm going to keep the Chris Richards because I want to use him probably in many lineups. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to have much of a chance of hitting these gems for a while. I did get tricked today or the other day. There was a gem pack. I don't know, well, it was like 5 gems for like a good 2-star player or higher, I think it was. Let me show you who I got. Where is it? Devaney. So somebody who doesn't even play for Crystal Palace, really. Hasn't played since game week 45. Which, does it tell me the date? It does not. But he has not played since then. Like, he hasn't played. And I've just kind of not given up with set already, because it's only a week in, but it's not started well. And I'm just struggling to, like, get the stuff I need, you know? It is what it is, but not horrendous, but we've not had a great start, I'm going to be very honest. But we'll see. Hopefully my luck changes next week. But thank you very much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.